Hello everyone, welcome back to the Spidray Man. I am Drunken Dan.
Sabo is dead, we think. I don't know, he just hasn't turned up today, so,
I mean, he's been dead before, it's fine.
maybe he did die, but, oh well. It's been a surprisingly busy week after the last 2 weeks of nothing.
Ew, it's that suit. Oh, it's that suit. Oh, take it away. There we go. Ah, there, that's better.
Like, we had a whole bunch of trailers drop. RE3 trailer dropped, because we weren't complaining. Man, we didn't talk about the RE3 leak, which was, at the time, was the only RE3 news we had, and then, we dropped a trailer, which, seems good. I mean, it's mostly reusing assets from RE2, sort of expected, because
I'm not gonna wear the old suit, but I'm gonna buy it for the suit power.
The suit power.
So, for the audience, I'll mostly be playing the suit made for this game, because I have my own solo playthrough that I'm doing, where I'm primarily in the classic costume, because I've said this to Training Man, I love the classic design just so much. I think the new design's good. I like this. I definitely do. But the classic one is just my favorite spider suit. Like, probably my second favorite spider suit would probably be the Venom suit, but, you know, that's not in this game yet. That's the next game.
So, as a bit of warm-up, Dan told me, you should go and look up, like, what will be tonight, the Game Awards, and then we can talk about things. It's like, what's there to fucking talk about? Like, everything that's on here, all that's on here is Death Stranding and Control. Like,
I was just more or less like, let's be snarky about what's gonna get it. That was all I wanted to do, because I'm an asshole.
But it's like, the fucking Control and Death Stranding.
Don't forget, the DLC award is like fucking, what is it? The, if I remember, the fucking GTA Literal Casino DLC, I think, is one of them.
Like, it's the same 4 games repeated for basically, like, every...
I think it's actually more egregious this year than last year, which is kind of funny.
Like, I'm just looking at it, it's like, okay, so...
Even though last year they just gave everything to Red Dead Redemption, and it didn't deserve any of it.
So Best Performance, right, has, like, 6 nominees, okay? But, like, 2 of them are from Control, and 2 of them are from Death Stranding. So it's like...
Well, I mean, to be fair, there's no overlap or any kind of, like, corruption there with the Death Stranding one, because, you know, they all... because Jeff Keighley is in the game, so it's fine.
You just...
I still can't get over that. Jeff Keighley's in the game, and it's, like, in all these awards, and I'm like, honestly, I have... Like, after it came out, I haven't really heard much of a peep out of that game.
Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. I mean,
like, I haven't really heard people talk about it, like, say, like, or like in the same vein of, say, like, even fucking Metal Gear 5, even though we constantly rag on that game.
What's the fuck you talk about? Like, Death Stranding's gonna win Game of the Year because
it will,
because
Jeff Keighley's in the game.
Yeah, and they'll probably, and then it's just gonna be a toss up between who get like best game direction might probably go to RE2 because I don't know, best narrative will go to Death Stranding.
Death Stranding, even though it's incomprehensible bullshit. And
then it's stupid shit like best art direction, where it's just fucking Link's Awakening's on here, really. Ugh. I mean, I don't know, I just really don't like the look of that game. And then best performance, yeah, like, hey, when Control's up here twice and Death Stranding's up here twice, like, odds are one of them's gonna win. I like this. Best ongoing game is Apex Legends. Like, that only came out this year. How is that ongoing?
I don't know.
Everything else is like, yeah, you'd expect Destiny 2, FF14, Fortnite, Rainbow Six Siege, you know, all the like sort of big shit that's not a Blizzard property.
But we'll probably not get it because it's not Death Stranding. It doesn't have Jeff Keighley in the game.
Best score up for Cadence of Hyrule.
By the way, I want to say I'm not mad. I just think it's funny. I just like I like joking more about this shit. Like, I'm not like where a lot of people get mad over like the Game Awards. I just think it's really...
Alright, so
like, this year is just is funnier to me because it's just so transparent.
Alright, so yeah, here we go. So best score / music: Cadence of Hyrule, Death Stranding, DMC5, Kingdom Hearts 3, Sayonara.
Oh yeah, also real quick, just for the audience and also you, I'm doing all the power towers right now, just so I don't have to deal with it later.
Ah, you're going to work for Grapple and Hoist then?
Yes. Well, no. I'm talking about the thing where it's the.
Yeah, I know. You called it a power tower. I can't not make a Transformers reference.
Oh.
I mean,
listen, we're done with Transformers. We finished Transformers.
If I had to take a guess as to what's going to win best score / music of these options, if Death Stranding doesn't win, it's going to go to Cadence of Hyrule.
I'm gonna go with Death Stranding, even though Cadence should probably get it between those two. Cause
no, DMC5 should get it amongst all of them.
I was gonna say either Cadence or DMC. I was just saying between those two, I'd say either one of those because Cadence does have it's Crypt of the Necrodancer 2. It has a great soundtrack.
I ain't disputing that, but like,
oh no, I know you're not. I'm just saying you feel like that, and honestly, I don't think honestly like they're saying best soundtrack Death Stranding. There are games that I don't play where I know the music from because people will post it and people are really into it. I don't know a fucking single track in Death Stranding.
No. All right, get best audio design.
But then again, I also didn't know a single track in Red Dead Redemption. Look what won that year.
And then we get like best audio design. Probably go to RE2 just because they're wanting to give something to RE2. And it's
pretend it's their mulligan for the ones that didn't give them a bunch of money.
Let's see, games for impact.
Oh god, I'm trying to do. So I have this is for the audience. I'm trying to do combos that I have unlocked in my big playthrough, my personal playthrough, and I'm forgetting that because it's changed my playstyle completely, and I'm just getting ragdolled right now.
I mean,
anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
I mean. I'm just scrolling through a lot of these. There's some stupid shit. Like, best VR AR game, who gives a fuck? Probably go to Beat Saber. Or Trover Saves the Universe.
Oh wait, what was the game again? What was the such category again? Sorry.
Best VR/AR game.
Oh, I don't really know much about AR VR.
I mean, it will go to it'll either go to Beat Saber because that's what the other award ceremony did, or it'll go to Trover Saves the Universe because fucking it's Rick and Morty. You
know, probably Rick and Morty.
Yeah, I think so, but we'll see. Best action game.
Because don't forget, the Game Awards are like the what's the word I'm looking for? The most what is the word? Fuck. They're very. I don't want to say mainstream, but kinda. But I'm trying to get
new age hipster. I mean, I don't know. I'm just looking through these. Best RPG. They're gonna give it to Outer Worlds. Best fighting game.
Outer Worlds, to be fair, is
fucking really hell. Jump Force is up for best.
Oh, you didn't know about that?
What? Oh my god.
You didn't know Jump Force got on there.
Alright, well, it doesn't matter because Smash Bros will win. Like, there's no way.
Didn't Smash Bros. Come out last year?
Yeah, but it came out after all the award ceremonies. Smash Bros. Will win Best Fighting Game, especially if its fucking competition is Dead or Alive 6.
Hey, I'm just gonna say this. For all Smash players, if you ban Terry Bogard from tournaments because you don't know how to do his fucking Buster Wolf, I'm just saying, you're no longer allowed to call Smash a fighting game. And that's not. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. I'm just enforcing them.
Best family game. I mean, I like how the best family game is literally just nothing but Nintendo games. It's kind of a sad state of affairs.
See, I'm trying to think of what other like family games came out that weren't Nintendo, though. To be honest.
Yeah.
Actually, no. RPG could go because I think probably Fire Emblem's in there. Could go either Outer Worlds or Fire Emblem.
Well, actually, Fire Emblem's not up for best RPG. Fire Emblem is up for best strategy game, and it's gonna win because its competition is like fucking Total War.
Oh yeah. Actually, no. I could see them giving it to Total War still.
Best.
Even though I think it should go to fucking Fire Emblem, but you know. I mean, Total War is not like a bad series. I think that they may have gotten better with it, but I think their tutorial system is pretty shit, and the controls have been clunky for decades.
Oh, here we go. Best esports game: Counter-Strike.
Well, interface, I should say, but you know what I mean.
CS:GO, Dota 2, Fortnite, League of Legends, Overwatch. So Fortnite is the winner here because they'll have Fortnite win.
Yeah, they gotta give Epic something.
They'll give them something because Epic paid them lots of money. What? Best esports player.
Epic would never pay someone a lot of money just to get a favor.
And then after this, it's just all this stupid esports shit that I don't give a fuck about. Best esports person. I don't know. I feel like that's an oxymoron, right?
What were the? Because we were joking about the fighting game one. What were the other candidates on there?
Samurai Showdown. Fuck, what was that? DOA 6, Jump Force, Mortal Kombat 11, Samurai Showdown, and Smash Bros. So yeah, Smash Bros will win.
Yeah, as much as I think Samurai Showdown is the better of those games,
But Smash,
I do Smash Brothers.
Smash will win. You can't.
Yeah, Smash will win. Yeah,
especially if
you're not...
fucking Jump Force. Like,
yeah,
seriously?
no. There was nothing else that came out. Like, come on.
Like, why even bother with that? Oh my god, no one liked Jump Force.
Exactly.
God, just give it to Fighter. Just give it to Fighter Z again. Alright, no, they must have given it to Fighters last year.
I think they did.
What else came out that could beat Fighters? Not MVC Infinite. Oh yeah. Actually, wait, no, Infinite came out before that because Infinite was at got dropped from Evo last year. 4 Fighters.
Yeah. Honestly, I still stand by what I said back in the day that if Fighter Z didn't come out when it did, people would be playing Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. And that's not to say Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite's a good game. I'm saying that because there was nothing like it that to take that kind of gameplay from it, that it would have been fine. Because I mean, look at Street Fighter V. Street Fighter V is a terrible game, but it's still getting updates and people are still playing because there's nothing. There are other fighting games, but there's nothing quite like Street Fighter entirely.
Here's the awkward thing, right? About the Death Stranding control.
Even though I just want to make this joke, though I will say. If you say Street Fighter V is your favorite Street Fighter, you think Vanilla Ice Cream is too spicy?
Nice. But, like, here's the problem with Death Stranding Control having the sheer dominance. And, like, I've played one of those games. I played Control. I like.
Oh no, I've always hated that in award shows when there's like when there's like 1 or 2 games that are just dominating in awards for candidacy.
But see,
I've always hated that.
Here's kind of my issue with Control, right? Oh, Control being as high up as it is. Control was like a really buggy, unstable mess when I played it. And it's probably been patched and fixed by now. But it crashed a lot and it had issues. And it's like, it feels bad. It feels awkward to be like giving so much praise for a game that's really struggled to work. I mean, yeah, it had a lot of great stuff going for it, but can't super escape that simple fact. And I don't know. I'd have to ask my friend who's played through Death Stranding. I'm still debating if I'm gonna pick it up or not.
If I get it, I've mentioned this in recording I think a dozen times, but if I get it, I'm gonna wait until it's like really cheap.
But man, I really hope Death Stranding doesn't win anything because otherwise Kojima's ego is gonna be fucking huge again.
Yeah, and honestly, he's like we were saying before. He needs to have someone over his shoulder going, "Hey, this is stupid."
Yes.
And the fact that he's been getting less and less of that has been a detriment to the quality of his work.
I mean, I've sort of gone on tangent.
It's kind of like with the same thing with Toriyama, except Toriyama we eventually got Broly because he's like, oh shit, you're right. God, this is terrible. What am I doing? But but then again, Toriyama doesn't really have an ego. He doesn't like the smell of his own farts.
And plus, also Toriyama is incredibly simplistic in what he does. I don't mean that as like as an insult, but like.
Oh no, I know, but I just mean like he doesn't. But there are people that like they make shit that's simplistic, but they believe their own bullshit.
Like a Toriyama plot is here is guy, he is strong. Okay, how do we beat guy who is strong? We hit them harder than we hit the last guy who was strong.
Here's a guy who's strong. Here's his quirky ability and his quirky personality. All right, let's do our weird. Let's punch harder to beat the guy who punches even harder.
Develop a new transformation and/or fusion and/or blah 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 in order to win the battle. You know, Broly is the first time a fusion is actually
worked. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess also
canonically.
I guess also Janemba, but yeah, no.
Well, canonically, we're gonna talk about canon.
Yeah. Every other time it's like, oh no, the timer ran out because they're too strong. It's like this is such fucking bullshit. But yeah, man. Anyway, on to slightly less depressing news. A whole bunch of trailers dropped this week. You know what? Wonder Woman 84. I'm okay with this.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
I watched it and I was like, huh. She's got a bright, colourful. Her costume is like really like muted colours, and it seems to be having more fun. Yeah, I can get behind it. I wish DC. Why did it take you like 10 years in order to sort this?
Actually, what's funny? I was talking to a coworker of mine because I haven't read it yet, I was talking about the Bendis situation with Superman because he's apparently reading it because according to him, it's actually pretty good, and they did not kill Clark Kent, so to speak. If you remember how we were talking, like, oh god, they're gonna forget Clark Kent is the character. Apparently no. Even though they did the reveal and everything like that, they didn't go the edgy route. They didn't go the yeah, it's Superman, not Clark route. So I'm interested. I'm gonna read it myself. I'm gonna try and pick up some of the books at some point. I'm actually going to the comic shop later today, because I got a backlog that I gotta pick up. It's been a little while.
I mean, comics been trash for quite a while, so I don't blame you.
Oh no, the books I read are pretty good at least. At least I like them. Though I know Squirrel Girl either is ending or ended. I'm not sure because, like I said, I'm behind on my books. I'll find out when I get there. But speaking of even with that, like honestly, I was thinking about this because I was doing a gag early on where I just hovered over the MCU Spider-Man suit in the game and was doing like the ugh as a gag.
Oh, that was weird.
But yeah. So I think I've mentioned this to you probably in text, but the reason I don't like that suit, it has nothing to do with the movies. You know, like, as in, like, you know, the whole, like we going into my gags and honest-to-God truth about, like, the way that they depict Spider-Man in those movies.
I feel like we've beat that dead horse enough.
Yeah, we beat that. This is not me going to beat that horse again. This is, me talking about something that why I legit don't like the, suit. So, what I don't like about it is... It is the ashamed of being comic booky suit, where they took out the blue, replaced it with black. They muted all the colors because remind me because you mentioned the non-muted colors with Wonder Woman.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's definitely a thing. It's on the one hand, I understand why they do it because it's all arguments of like doing lighting in film, because but. At the same time,
I mean, like you can mute the colors a little bit.
No, yeah,
you get like Spider-Man.
You're right.
The Raimi Spider-Man.
You're right.
Raimi Spider-Man looks good.
But there is like definitely a trend of we want to be comic booky, but not too comic booky, i.e., with the Taskmaster redesign.
Well, Taskmaster is just like a spit in the face to the old Taskmaster.
Sorry, Steve Blum.
What's really funny about it is, like we mentioned before, because you said that they think they might have made it a girl one. I'm just like, why didn't they just bring out Finesse? She hasn't been used in the comics in years. You can just bring her out.
Because she doesn't have the quote-unquote star power. Like, Taskmaster has at least been in other things, so people who only have, like, rudimentary knowledge of comic books and characters...
Yeah, but they're gonna look at this character and be like, that's not Taskmaster.
Yeah, but they don't... Yeah. No, what there'll be people who watch, like, the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon and be like, I saw that show and that had a guy in it called Taskmaster. I know what that is!
I mean, when I see that, though, my reaction is like, that's not right.
Yeah, but...
I remember, like, seeing stuff as a kid where when they would get things wrong, I'd be like, that's not that's not right. What is this?
Yeah, but they don't... Oh, hey,
Say was alive.
Yeah, but, Dan, they don't care about you or what you think, because as far as they're concerned, you're a comic book geek. You'll probably pay to see it regardless of what it looks like.
Ha! Fools! No, I won't!
It's like, what they care about...
They don't care about what Dan thinks because they care about what I think, and that would be very unusual.
I mean... I don't even care what you think, and I'm allegedly your friend.
Exactly.
Woof. Friend is a strong word, I admit, but... now, you just missed us talking about all the new trailers. We started talking about all the new trailers that came out this week. Like, the new Wonder Woman trailer. Which, looked pretty fun. I like it, even though it was kind of had a few issues.
Yeah, apparently also the DC books have gone away from, like, trying to be all, like, grimdark.
I mean, after it...
It's about time.
It took them long enough.
Turns out if you massively backfire enough times, you'll eventually get it right.
Wait a minute, you mean they like it when the characters are just fun-loving? And just superheroes?
I mean, you like it when characters are...
That just sounds silly to me.
Well, it's just more interesting. It's more, like, sort of interesting. And I forget if I've talked about this with Wonder Woman before, but I always find that movie kind of unfortunate, because it's very clearly wants to be a World War II movie. But it couldn't, but it couldn't be, because Captain America was a thing. And
so they just picked a different war.
Well, they picked World War One, and the problem with doing World War One is it's a very different political situation than World War Two.
It's a lot less. It's not as a here are the good guys, here are the bad guys situation.
You're not fighting against. Yeah, you don't have like the plucky allies.
Like World War II is the one of the few wars where you can be like, yeah, these are the obvious bad guys for once.
Yeah, it's like, oh hey, you're up against genocide. Yeah, it's pretty hard to not be a good guy if you're taking a stance against them. With World War One, it's like, here's a whole bunch of soldiers who didn't actually know what they were signing up for, who thought this was going to be a quick and painless war where everyone had a bit of fun, and then they all just sort of died in horrible, horrible conditions because people forget trench foot, which is basically just the water and the bacteria in the muddy water of the trench is just eating away at their flesh. Like, there's nothing pleasant about the First World War. So when you try and boil it down to, man, these Germans are evil, though. It's like
someone was like, in World War One, they hadn't quite adapted to modern weaponry, which is, i.e., don't throw lots of people in one direction because things explode now.
Well, that's the thing, is that World War One had never. By the time of World War One, there hadn't been like a large-scale conflict between two powers of like reasonably even technology. Most of
the closest thing to at that time was like the Civil War
or the Russia-Japan War, but well,
right,
that had other issues. It's like, so as far as like a lot of sort of troops were concerned, this was going to be like the we're just going to go rock up on them down because they've got spears and we've got guns, and then I will be in Berlin by Christmas. They dug the trench, they ruined the fields, and basically they realized, oh, they've got machine guns because we have machine guns as well, so no one can actually go anywhere because without getting machine gunned to death.
Aren't there places in the European countryside that are still bombed out from World War One?
Oh yeah, there's places that are still shot, that still have bodies buried underground.
They're like, people are like, we're still digging up like unexploded shells from like 100 years ago.
Oh yeah, France the France countryside got massively fucked up. That's why France. So you've heard about the Treaty of Versailles, right?
Yeah.
So the Treaty of Versailles was like all the Allied powers after Germany surrendered, basically deciding what stipulations Germany would have to suffer under to make up for the war. And France was like extremely aggressive in making Germany pay because they'd lost like so much in terms of land and resources, and just actually devastated their country. So their idea was basically to make it so Germany could never do this again. And then ironically, it's one of the main reasons they did do it again.
Why they ended up doing it later.
Apparently, the main reason they folded in World War II so easy because they're like, we'd rather have you occupy us than have you like blow the shit out of us again.
Yeah, essentially. Well, they were just also unprepared for it. Like, it's like a whole sort. I mean, there's people far more educated people on the subject than I. There's entire YouTube channels dedicated to everything about World War II because, I mean, fuck me, as the last great victory of all of our respective nations. It's like, what do you get after that? Vietnam was a loss. War on Terror was a loss.
Yeah.
Afghanistan loss. Libya loss. Like, yeah, you've gone past the.
Not to mention, like every war before and after World War II was like not always so clear cut. I think like Civil War was fairly clear cut, but like that's like the only other one I can think of.
Well, people just because generally like people go to war for incredibly petty reasons. I mean, I think there's a saying that goes.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like even if you look at and this is gonna sound crazy for America, but even if you look at the Revolutionary War, it's not like black and white.
Well, yeah, I mean, the common misconception is to say that America was like mega taxed by Britain, and it wasn't. Or the taxation that was there was actually not unreasonable because it was taxation to ensure high quality goods went to America, not like cheap Chinese, not knockoffs, but like cheaper, more perishable goods went. So it's like it's a whole bunch of other things. Plus, also the French had a lot to do with it.
Yeah,
and
the French had their noses all up in that shit.
Their trouts in the snot. Oh, fuck it. I lost it. The snouts in the trough, that's what I was going to say. But yeah. Anyway, to get back to it.
Let's encourage them to overthrow their royalty, because that can't possibly affect us in any way whatsoever.
Well, France is pretty terrible when it comes to revolutions. You know, storming of the Bastille, the big sort of famous thing that France is well known for, part of their like French Revolution, right? where they broke in to free the prisoners of the Bastille, which was a huge thing.
Is that where they held the flag up?
Yeah. So you know, there was only actually like 3 people in prison in the Bastille on that day. It's like the Russian Revolution and the storming of the Winter Palace was carried out by about 5 people. For no other reason than the guards of the Winter Palace saw that these like people were, oh, there must be more of them, and fucked off. They're like, balls to this. So yeah, Russia became like a communist dictatorship for like, you know, 50, 60 years purely because like, you know,
a couple of guards said, fuck it.
Yeah, screw this, we're out. I mean, it probably would have happened anyway, but still. But that's the reason why. So it's the reason why Lenin and his crew got in, because otherwise it probably would have been the more like reasonable Mensheviks.
Right. By the way, this is just for Saber, so he knows what I'm doing in the Spider-Man game. The first thing I'm doing is I'm just getting all of the power towers, so that way the map's set up and I don't have to worry about it later. That's pretty much all I've been doing since we started.
Also, there was a Ghostbusters trailer.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Good thing it's called Afterlife, because it makes me want to kill myself.
Oh God, Jesus Christ!
I mean, it wasn't that bad, but I like that joke too much to not use it.
Was it better than the 2016 Ghostbusters?
I mean, I guess it's technically. I mean,
to be fair, the movie's not not even out yet. To say it's better or worse is kind of just hard right now.
Okay, so it's like it's set up.
That's not a defense. By the way, it's not a defense of the other one. I mean, I've said my piece on that one. I just think it's okay. I don't think it's great. I think it's mediocre. But like I'm just saying, like this movie's not out yet, so we can't really.
I still haven't seen 2016 Ghostbusters, and I intend not to.
I really wouldn't recommend it, and even as a curiosity, it's not really worth the time.
No, it's not great, and if you say you don't like it, people accuse you of being a misogynist.
Yeah, basically. So if I just say I never saw it, then it's fine.
Because I was like, the movie's bad, and they're like, you just hate the woman. I'm like, no, it would. The movie was exactly the same, but still starred the old cast, including Harold Ramis's Ghost. It would still be bad.
My hatred of women has nothing to do with my enjoyment of movies.
Oh my God, Train.
I mean, I wouldn't say that because, you know...
Well, so Sarah, when did you stop being your wife?
Fucking damn it! You know, it's a good thing that this channel isn't for children.
I like to point out I'm unmarried and he is joking.
I'm doing my part to make sure we're still not kid-friendly. Trust me, no one can ever accuse me of being child-friendly.
That's true.
That's why you don't see tickle me trains in the stores. Not after the incident.
Oh, what was the incident?
I'm not legally allowed to disclose that information.
Oh.
But anyway, I don't know. The trailer itself was fine, but it's just like the whole setup is it's like the grandkid of Spengler, spoiler, I guess, that they reveal in the trailer, is like in this like rural town in American Midwest, going through Spengler's old things in this farmhouse he apparently got in the 30 years between this movie and Ghostbusters 2. But it's like, man, I get why you did it, because Harold Ramis is the one who's dead, and you're being honorable. Spengler was not the type to have kids, let alone grandkids.
Which one was he?
He's Egon.
He was Egon?
Oh.
He's the one who collects... when a woman tried to seduce him, reminded her that he collects spores, mold, and fungus.
It's true. I mean, he could have fucked the secretary lady.
Yeah, that's who he told. That he collects spores.
I know, but then, I mean, the cartoon series came along, and they kind of sort of maybe had a thing.
Yeah, but then Ghostbusters 2 came along, and then they didn't. And then Extreme Ghostbusters came along, and they super didn't.
And they still did it, but you never know. They still left that open.
Well, the real problem is it feels like
maybe when they finally got into their 40s.
Don't forget the goth girl in that was like too scary for like a ghost at one point, which I thought was hilarious.
But I mean, the real issue is that Ghostbusters Afterlife looks like that someone saw that Stranger Things was an incredibly popular, like, profitable show for Netflix, and they thought, let's make a movie with that same, there's like unspeakable horror, like this sort of unspeakable horror in this, like, rural American town, where like, but it's also, you know, quirky and a bit comedic, and
I mean, to be fair,
they
that's
slack-
pretty much what Ghostbusters was, except for, you know, not Stranger Things and not Rural.
yeah, but like Ghostbusters, but that's the point. Is Ghostbusters is the one that partially inspires Stranger. I mean, hell, Stranger Things season 2 literally has the 4 kids dress up as the Ghostbusters. Like, there is clearly like Ghostbusters influence in Stranger Things, so it just feels odd to be
I mean, a
doing
lot of shows do that. Like Aquarian Logos had the characters dress up as like the Ghostbusters at one point.
No, yeah, I get that.
I'm not really sure why.
But then Ghostbusters didn't make make an aquarium knockoff. They should have, because fighting ghosts with mechs
Would be awesome.
Oh, shit, we've hit the next like Sunrise property, boys.
Finally!
Or maybe we'll get Trigger to do it. They'll do anything.
Yeah, they're kind of desperate right now.
What? Wait,
But didn't Trigger just... Wait, Desperate, didn't they just make Chromare?
they made Promare, but it doesn't mean they've made money.
Like, didn't it make money, though?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it did really well, actually.
Speaking of Sunrise and robots, so
Yeah.
Super Robot Wars had their December stream, and they're not releasing a game this spring.
Ooh, controversial.
I mean, I'm kind of happy about that because I'd rather they, take more than 1 year to develop them so we can get something closer to the quality of last decade and not something that's obviously been made in the air. I hope.
Maybe. Or maybe they're just sort of waiting to see what happens. Maybe they ran out of series to use. I mean, hell, they used Cowboy Bebop in the last one.
That's true.
They actually went over and did Ray Earth.
Yeah, Ray Earth got in, Bebop got in.
Which I'm still happy about Ray Earth. I still need to play that game, though.
They've used Mike Guine like 3 times because they know they'll probably never get it back.
Probably. I mean, they still have Iron-Blooded Orphans to run with, so...
Ooh, yeah, but then again, they never did Age, so...
They did Age in one of the 3DS games.
Oh.
But only the last arc, and, like, they clearly were, like, didn't want to do it, but were forced into it. I mean, it was still better than the show.
Yeah, that's not saying much.
Because they didn't have everyone pointlessly die.
I mean, that's just Zeta Gundam.
Yeah.
I mean... Call out post, but yes.
I mean, the real problem with Age was it's just... It had...
The problem with Age is that they kill everyone at the end because of Zeta Gundam. It was like, towards the end, they're just like, okay, paint by numbers Gundam tropes. What haven't we done yet? Girl dead, okay. Kill off this entire supporting cast, okay.
But then they just
goes randomly crazy, and then just like, oh, by the way, peace.
Yeah, but then like the second part of Age was like pretty solid, and then the third and like final part just really shit the bed, because then it's like, oh, but then the bad guy just sort of gets redeemed, and then the final boss is like an evil AI space dragon thing that possesses people.
This sounds like Gundam O's.
No, because Double O didn't get Double O didn't get into that until the movie.
Oh yeah, then that's when they introduced aliens.
The else, yes.
The aliens invaded.
Because Aeolia Shenberg can predict that not only were they coordinators? No, that's the seed term. What are they called?
Innovators.
Innovators, right. That Aelio Shenberg, like 300 years, like 100, 200 years before Gundam 00 happens, predicted that humanity would evolve in a very specific way to create the Innovators, to the point that he had genetically engineered like versions of Innovators created. Because he knew full well how human evolution was going to happen, I guess. And because he also knew that Innovators would be around in time for the alien species to appear that would require non-verbal communication to contact.
Yes.
Man, the plot of Double O makes no fucking sense, because they doubled down on the whole... Man, Aeolia Shenberg just knew everything. He even knew that Celestial Being would betray itself because it was all meant to die, but would also continue to go on because... Fuck you.
And then there's the end of the movie where it implies that the whole reason he knows all this is because he was in contact with Amuro somehow.
Ah, right, because the whole joke was that Ribbons, the main villain of the series, had the same VA as Amuro. And
yeah,
also...
but then the epilogue of the movie shows like Shenberg when he was still alive, he was talking to this guy named A. Ray, who looked and sounded just like Amuro. And I was like, okay. How did he get there?
Hey Ray, looks like Amuro. I can't figure it out. What's the joke here?
So I guess, yeah. So I guess when Char's counterattack happened, he just got sent to Double O's world instead of whatever happened to him.
It's okay because Unicorn said fuck that and just had Amuro's fucking Force Ghost there. It's fine.
No, but that doesn't mean he's just because the Force Ghost is there doesn't mean he's dead.
Shut the fuck!
It's like,
God damn it! Don't you fucking do it! I know you're gonna do it! Don't you fucking say it!
no one's ever really gone down.
God damn it! I'll kill you!
Plus, also, like, we've seen Camille's Force.
See, Camille, what?
That's true. Camille was somehow a new type ghost, even though he was still alive. Until
Yeah.
So you know.
So, just because you're dead, just because you're alive, doesn't mean you can't be a ghost.
Oh my god.
As per Gundam rules. I don't make the rules. But also, you know, like, also, like,
I mean, they couldn't figure out what Camille's deal was throughout that entire show, so who knows?
I mean, it also doesn't help that new type ghosts can also just be kind of assholes for no real reason.
Yes, I'm gonna haunt you.
Where Lala's just there, like, you killed me, you killed me.
Hey, Amuro, do you remember the time you killed me?
It's basically what happens. So yeah.
You killed me. Weren't you trying to kill me? Yeah, but
Well,
you killed me.
she wasn't trying to kill him. She was trying to stop him killing Shah, which
Yeah.
is arguably as bad.
Which was also trying to
Well,
kill him. At
Shah
the
was
same time.
trying to kill him, but Shah didn't.
Both were.
But Shah didn't know Amuro knew Lala. I don't think, did he?
Also, Char was losing, so it's not like you know.
Yeah, Shah was getting his ass kicked because
Well, I mean, like the first shot was Lala in the fucking funnels, though.
yeah, but she was trying to pull a Jesus Yamato and just not hit the cockpit.
Man, does he ever stop
Oh.
inventing?
Probably, I don't know. But it's fine.
Sure,
She
I'll
died.
believe that. This is me believing you.
She died.
She died the way she lived, pointlessly.
Yes. No, but she could have been a mother to Shah.
That fucking line still gets me.
You killed me.
That's the best. Like that's the best final exchange ever. It's like she could have been a mother to me.
Wow.
Wait, a mother?
She's like
what the hell are you
half
talking
your
about?
age.
No, she's just like, mother. What the hell are you talking about? And then that's it. They're gone. Like,
Then
that
they
was their
die.
final exchange.
Rivalry that lasted for like 20 years, both in universe and out of universe, just ended on that.
Just ended on this random non-secure. She could have been a mother to me. Wait, what? Gone.
Literally didn't see that coming.
Never to be seen again. Do you think we'll ever reach a
Yes.
point where they will just say, yeah, they're back?
Probably not, because I mean, the actors are probably gonna be dead soon.
Yeah, probably.
Not soon, but I mean, probably within like the next decade or so. They're getting pretty old, and I mean, we're already losing tons of old VAs. Seabook's already gone, and he was younger than both of them.
What do you, sorry, Seabook. It's what you get for not having an animation, not having a series.
I mean, it's okay. He was in Inuyasha though, which I guess made up for it.
Yeah, I never saw Inuyasha.
I mean, it's baby's. It's baby's first dramatic anime. I mean, it was okay. It just took way too long to get to the point. Like,
Well,
isn't
from
like so long. The anime was canceled and took like a decade off.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And also, they spend like the entire series like just fighting this one guy. So like 10 times, it's like, we're gonna get you now, Naraku. Nope, I'm gone. Damn it. Okay, back on the chase. But I mean, if you ignore the fact that it basically takes them like over 100 episodes and like 500 something chapters to beat one guy and like condense it, it's okay. It's not bad. There's certainly worse animes. The characters are okay. Yeah, I mean, it's better than Bleach.
Had to get a Bleach insult in there. It's cool because the wonderful thing about Bleach is I can insult all I want because no one's a fan of it anymore.
Everyone hates it now.
Yeah, I mean, I think even the most diehard fans have difficulty like defending the last arcs.
Well, don't forget the last arcs just weren't even animated.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. Instead, I have to.
Probably never. probably never going to be.
Instead, I have to be that guy who like talks to people and they're like, "Man, One Piece." Like every time One Piece comes up in conversation, I have to like awkwardly shuffle because it's like, yeah, I'm caught up on One Piece. Yeah, they're no closer to finishing. They're still, Oda's still gonna die before he finishes.
I agree.
Maybe someone will take over.
I mean, if they do, One Piece will stop being like the most popular manga of all time in history. It'll finally be replaced.
It happened to Fairy Tail.
Well, Fairy Tail's guy didn't die.
No, he didn't die, but he was like, all right, I'm tired of this. I want to do something else. So he ended it, but then like this other guy took over, and he's like, okay, then I'll do it. And he's like, okay, you do it. So like a year later, it came back. It's like Fairy Tail, whatever. Like done by a different guy.
Fairy Tail Super.
It's still basically.
No, to be fair, Toriyama's on that one, and is the main reason why it was kind of crappy.
Oh, Fairy Tail GT then.
Apparently, it actually got better than the ending of Fairy Tail. So I wouldn't say it's GT.
Oh, then it is. Oh yeah, then it is GT.
I don't know. I got like so far in Fairy Tail, and I think the exact thing that got me out of Fairy Tail was like One Piece did its big like time skip thing. And it was like big news because it's like, oh shit, One Piece is like advancing the plot. And then like 2 weeks later, Fairy Tail did the time skip as well.
Only they were in stasis for all that time.
Yeah. But it's still like the whole case of I don't know. Fairy Tail always felt like very followed. At Naruto.
Follow the what?
Fairy Tail's time skip.
It cut out on me. What did you say?
I just said that Fairy Tail was like very much kind of like follow the leader on like Naruto, One Piece, and such.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Even like the art style is very sort of One Piece inspired.
It's it's very similar to the art he had back in Rave Master.
I mean, that's basically
like
Fairy Tail
Lucy looks like Ellie.
Fairy Tail is basically like, I'm not getting canceled this time, yay.
Yeah.
Like, he even started folding in stuff that he never got to do in Rave Master into Fairy Tail. You could tell sometimes he was running, he's like, man, I wish I could do Rave Master again, but I can't, so I guess I'll do this.
I liked Rave Master too, it's a sad
Rave Master was pretty good, yes.
I'll tell you what it reminds me of. It reminds me of, you know that series, Magical Teacher Megima?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's by the guy who did Love Hina, and he wanted to do like an action series, but publisher said no, just do a romantic comedy series like you did last time. So he was like, okay. So he started off with his romantic comedy, you know, Love Hina, very classical stuff, and then like just randomly switched it to an action series like halfway through when it was too late for them to stop him.
Well, no, he did it after he did it after his popularity took off, and he could basically do whatever. And then he just canceled it.
Yeah, and then
and under a couple chapters because like the publisher wanted to take away the rights from him, so he just ended the show.
Yeah,
that's one way to do it.
I mean,
yeah, like within like 3 chapters, all of a sudden, like it was 100 years in the future, and like the story was over. So like nobody could ever salvage it.
That's actually really funny.
You got to appreciate.
And he won because I'm pretty sure that thing that like he did it in protest of never actually passed. So
I mean, he did it.
Victory for him. Yeah, he did it.
And then I don't know if he did anything else. Probably not.
He did. He started making He made another series that I didn't really follow, but I know that the big twist that he revealed halfway through is that it was actually a sequel to Nejima. That like it was only obvious when one of the Nejima characters showed up.
Genius.
Yeah.
Not bad for
when the creator goes completely bonkers.
Not bad for a guy who basically like kickstarted the harem comedy bullshit.
Pretty much.
I mean, you're right. I never cared for like any of that kind of stuff.
Some were. There was one I really liked, which is one called "The World God Only Knows," because it was mostly like a parody and a joke about all of those sort of series. But it was like an affectionate parody because it was about a guy called Kamer whose whole thing is that he just plays like dating sims.
And did you ever notice that, like, in a lot of those, the fucking, like, protagonist dude is, like, the most boring
Yeah.
motherfucker around, and you're like, why does anyone want to fuck this guy?
So Kaba's thing was that he was incredibly antisocial and hated everyone and very smug and arrogant and just incredibly smart. But he hated people and he just really loved video games. And he'd for magical bullshit reasons, he then gets forced into a situation where he has to like woo girls in order to like not die. So then the entire thing is him literally applying like harem tropes and dating sim tropes and trying to succeed. It was pretty
That's
fun.
actually a funny concept.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty good.
It was pretty great, and because I like my main characters who are kind of scumbags.
But I mean, I like a mixture of characters, but like, yeah, every harem character, in my opinion, has just been shite.
It's almost
They're
as
just-
if they're incredibly boring and generic, so that people reading can substitute them with themselves.
Unless they're around my half.
Probably, but I fucking hate. So like in RPGs, I like certain types of RPGs, I don't mind the character being a fucking avatar stand-in. That's fine. But I don't like that in my
Look, a harem series protagonist exists to do like three things. They exist to fall on girls and touch them. They exist to get hit.
either by accident or on purpose,
And
depending on which mood they're feeling like today.
They exist to like get called to attract all of the like sort of classical archetypes for one reason or another.
And then whichever archetype that they're doing for the canon one will always have like a misunderstanding with it, depending on which archetype they're going with.
And then the final thing is
it's usually either the tsundere or the meek wifey one.
And then the
It's one of those two,
the
typically.
final thing is that they exist to be the straight man to it all, as in like, oh, this is ridiculous. Oh no, this ridiculous thing's happening to me. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, the harem thing started with Ron Mahaf, but the joke with Ron Mahaf is that he was kind of a jackass.
Yeah, he was a jackass, and everyone and well,
In fact, the joke with Ron Mahaf is that everyone is a jackass.
yeah.
They all kind of deserve the abuse they give to each other. But like ever since then, it's just like this regular, normal, like nice guy who just takes this incredible heaping of abuse.
Oh yeah, Rama was good. I like Rama.
But it's more-
If we're gonna go,
But
if we're gonna talk about like
you seem to have missed the joke with Ranma, which is that like they abuse him because he's a jackass and he deserves it.
They
Well,
get-
I mean, a couple people missed the point because they're like, oh, poor abused Ranma. What's her face is always hating him, and I'm like, yeah, she's always hating.
yeah, because he's always
doing
being a
things up for
fucking
her
dick.
and being a jackass to her.
yeah.
Actually, that's funny when you think about it. She only attacks him specifically when he's being a jackass. She doesn't really go after anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, Rama was pretty good. So, I didn't like get into it as early as a lot of other people did, but a friend of mine was super into it, so I watched and read a bit.
It was the first anime they brought over here that like they didn't try to change.
Yeah,
That's why it's like so.
it is very Japanese.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
it's
Because
very
I don't-
Japanese, and like they didn't try to change that in any way. They're just like it was one of the first dubs they played pretty much straight.
There
instead
was
of-
an early attempt, years and years ago, to bring it where they tried to localize it, quote quote,
Yes.
and it just flopped. And then, as kind of the anime boom was starting to rev up, that's when it got brought over as one of the ones where they.
How did
didn't
they
really touch it.
localize the magic crossdresser thing?
It never. I don't know.
I'm
I
gonna
just
say-
know that they did attempt it once because remember they attempted Gundam a couple times before too. Because there was the
Doozy
huh?
Doozy bots. That was their first
Doozy
attempt to localize Gundam, where they just made something straight up.
Oh yeah, there was also another another old dub where Char was voiced by Steve Blum.
Yeah, before anyone cared.
Yeah, it's an old dub. It's hard to find. You can only find it on VHS.
Is that the one where they pronounce everything wrong? Because
I
like,
think it's all of them.
no, but I mean they like Amuro, you must pilot the Gundam.
That might be that one.
Yeah, because it's like there's no official pronunciation guide yet, so like they pronounce everything wrong. Like they call it the Gundam, and like the Gundam must fight the forces of John.
Oh no, not John.
Son of a bitch! I knew it.
Man, I love this town. Time to grab a
Man.
snapshot.
I do like. I think I mentioned before that amongst my friends, because I say fucking Space Noid so much, they've all started to imitate me, even though they don't know what a Space Noid really is.
Oh, damn space noids, they're
This
ruining everything.
Motherfucking Space Noids, am I right? We need to build a wall around Earth to keep the Space Noids out.
I remember you saying that.
I mean,
bit
that's
before.
the plot of Super Robot Wars Alpha 2. So.
I don't hate Space Noids. Some of my best friends are from space. But
literally,
you could
it's like all the problems are coming from space. Let's just make a big force field around the whole planet.
I mean, where's the lie?
That'll do it.
Literally every robot series is about like, hey, it's some evil force from space
Haven't done much
attacking
photography
Earth.
since
I
playing
need to
you.
save it.
God, how much I enjoy it.
Except for Zeta, where you're the evil force from Earth trying to attack evil force from space trying to attack Earth.
Peter, it's Martin Lee.
I mean,
Okay,
they
maybe
kind of
not-
deserved it.
Maybe not quite evil, but I don't know. Any group that's sort of evil by default.
Just let me know when you're ready and I'll swing by.
Great.
I always like how the first Dynasty Warriors Gundam game, where they have the whole plot and like everyone thinks Char's fucking evil. It's like the one time he's not, just gonna backstab everyone because it's Zeta Gundam Char.
Wait,
I'm
come
not.
on. Haven't you... Yeah, Zeta Gundam Char has said it himself. He has never betrayed anyone. Come on.
I've never betrayed anyone in my life.
And that's
You
why
all
Joe
the zombie
made you
family's like, bitch, are you for real?
The ghosts of the zombie family just come out like, motherfucker!
Apparently, it doesn't. Like, well, I remember someone was arguing, like, no, it doesn't count as betrayal if you intended to stab them in the back all along. And I'm like, I mean,
Good
I
shot.
think it kind of does.
I mean,
Yes.
yeah, you still were betraying them. That was your plan, but you were betraying them.
Yes, it depends on is the boss a traitor or not. She is. But which side did she betray?
Right, loyalty to your country or loyalty to me, Snake?
Empire State University, the old alma mater.
I mean,
And home.
And it turns out they just killed her anyway because
well, maybe if her
she
fucking
was
protege
too powerful.
if her protege wasn't a fucking dumbass,
Her protege and also all of his friends.
and also Skullface, who also was there, apparently.
Oh yeah, don't forget about Skullface. He was there. Just like Poochie, he was always there.
Just behind the trees, you didn't see him. Him and the XOF were just hanging out. Like, yeah, I can't wait to get all these medals for what we're doing for this solo mission. But
What do you mean we didn't get medals? Now my lust for revenge will have to be quenched in a few decades.
But I wanted to be Bill. I wanted to get a new codename. Why can't I be Big Face?
The feeling something.
I wanted to be Big Face. I don't like Big Skull Face. This is all the boss' fault. I'm gonna break his face and make him punish Snake or something.
Now I'm going to take away everyone's languages.
You know,
What?
It's the only way to do it.
I'm starting to think Metal Gear wasn't written very well.
I mean, PS5 certainly wasn't.
I mean, I just,
Where did I put my bag?
I suddenly have a feeling that perhaps 10-year-old me misjudged the whole series.
Wait a second. This is stupid. Yeah, you ever have that where you're like you sat there thinking,
Yeah.
this is deep. Oh, I can't believe all this plot, and then you really think about it. Like,
fucking dumb.
wait a second. Is this just the biggest scam in gaming history?
Have I been fucking scammed? But, so one thing I actually wanted to talk about a little,
Hey guys.
or at least I kind of like a question, especially because we're playing Speed 3 Man and, like, superhero stuff. I was trying to think about this, but I want everyone else's opinion on who's theirs are. Who's your favorite just solo superhero, like, excluding sidekicks and stuff like that?
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Now, yeah, actually, that's what I was gonna say, too.
My blood.
Funny
Okay,
enough.
if we're gonna say you can't have Spider-Man, then
No, I was just gonna say that's what I was gonna say too. Actually, I just thought it was funny
I mean, my top like
because I thought about it and like there are other like solo heroes I like and like again we're excluding sidekicks. Characters who transition from sidekick are acceptable, but like I was thinking about it like a good bit last night. And I was like, yeah, no, I think it's Spider-Man.
for me it's Spider-Man. Superman is actually second.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
actually.
as much as I rag on him, Batman's probably like fourth. I know I've
Batman's
skipped.
up there on mine.
I know I've skipped third, but
I'd go with I go with Superman over Spider-Man, but I usually
Okay.
tend to prefer. Well, like I said, I don't like Spider-Man as much as you guys do. I kind of find him like
Miserable.
yeah. Finally, I'm just like, all right, this is just getting depressing now. Come on, your
Wait a
life
minute.
isn't that bad.
I mean,
Just wanted to talk.
Kind of is.
You don't really have to blame yourself for everything. And if you really wanted to, you could probably have some of your cake and eat it too. You just don't want to because the plot won't let you. Because the plot
You know,
requires
one
you
more
to be
fuck-
miserable.
One of the more fucked up things I found in one of the backpacks in this game. It's not really a spoiler, but this will. I'll talk more about MJ later in the game in this version of her.
yeah. I was waiting for that.
She's gonna come up soon in the game at a certain point. But there is a I found the apartment application one.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? Maybe we should wait until at least MJ's introduced because I can at least do the surface level shit at that point.
Yeah.
So I think I'll wait, but I think we're gonna talk after recording a little bit.
I like that Norman Osborn is listed on that tenancy agreement.
So much and asking for nothing.
I'll say
You're right.
I'll say one thing though. I usually prefer teams over solo heroes because I don't really like the whole like this guy is the most specialist, most important guy in the story, and it will always bow to him.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
Actually, wait,
If I was
I
gonna
don't,
talk-
I don't
if
know
I-
who
go
else
ahead,
count.
Terry.
Who else might count as a solo hero? I think Kamen Rider O's is my number 3.
That's fair.
O's is great. Love that
I'm
he's
trying to
just such
think-
an innocent guy. He's like just a guy. He's just a guy who just likes to help people, but like he's not got any super special powers.
And
He's-
as far as I'm concerned too, like I like Sentai heroes, I count them. So.
well, I only work on the
like
basis that
if they're an individual, like a common
Well,
rider like
what-
that.
AG himself doesn't actually. He teams up with the other writer of the series, but he basically works solo. Like he has like people who
Right.
support him, but they're not like fighting alongside him. Even though one is like super strong, but that's just for gags.
Check it outside.
oh, is that when
yeah,
is that when she throws like vending machines around?
Yeah, where she just like lifts up a vending machine that's crushing people to death, and she just does it with the greatest of ease. You're like, what,
Good.
man?
It's like, but whenever a monster shows up, she's like, "Oh no, I'm helpless."
well,
I can drop a
I wouldn't
car.
say that. There's one time where a monster like tries to attack her, and she just pushes away and like shoves it a mile away, and it's like, what? And it just goes, and then O shows up and does the thing. But also,
But
yeah. Anyway, I'm trying to think of other sort of heroes I super like now.
So yeah, I think I think Spider-Man, then Superman. Let me think of other ones. I'm really trying to think hard as to who, because I actually tend to lean towards sidekicks a lot. That's why this is actually kind of hard for me.
Problem is, a lot of characters I like aren't traditional superheroes.
Now I did say characters in transition. Am I allowed to be a little cheeky and say Black Bat?
Sure.
All right, yeah, that's my number 3. Power Girl doesn't count because I think she's still technically considered a sidekick. So I can't
I'm surprised
pull
Terry
her out
McGinnis
as a
isn't on your
gag.
list.
Oh fuck, you're right, Terry. Actually, yeah, I probably put Terry as number 3 then.
Well, I work on the base,
and then I put Black Bat.
I work on the base that he's doing most of the action of the fighting, and Bruce is just support.
Yeah, no, he is not the sidekick. Yeah, I don't even know why I didn't think of Terry. You're absolutely right. Terry, then maybe number 4 is Bruce. Actually, no, because I'm more of a fan of Dick Grayson. I'll say Nightwing and then Bruce.
You made a terrible mistake.
Sorry.
Worth it.
I'm trying to think if there's anyone else off the top of my head that I'm really, really into. Green Lanterns are kind of a group, so I'm kind of not counting them.
I like Wally West Flash. That's that count.
Yes, Wally West Flash is great. Yeah, that's another one. Because I'm trying to think of also characters who are like solo, not like team characters too, and that's also difficult.
Dude, he's not the Jesus
be
of Flash.
in-
Barry is.
Fucking Barry.
Barry.
Yeah, I hate Barry.
Fuck Barry.
I like. Is it because Barry's entire plot is like he ruins everything?
Well, it's less that. It's more that Barry Allen himself was a very generic, like every man, and that was fine because he was made at a time where that was the hero you went for. And then like Wally West was a breath of fresh air who added in a whole bunch of stuff, like the whole idea of Flash being this really sociable guy who just everyone likes, even the villains like him, and his whole dynamic with like Snart and Captain Bill and like the rogues in general was like really was pushed with Wally West and his general attitude. And then Barry Allen, when he came back, just stole it. Like, he stole Wally's personality.
Alright, so after this cutscene, I'm gonna save, because I just realized I was going to the museum. And that's gonna take a minute.
Oh, we're gonna have a lot to discuss about that one.
Yeah, this is where we'll get that. Next time we'll get to talk about MJ. Like, next time we'll get to talk about her in recording.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna hit manual save now. And we're going to stop here. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and see you next time. Have a good day.